everybody. Welcome to our April 8th Diesel Nation team call. Obviously, tonight's going to be a special night because we have an amazing guest speaker. It's Julie Voris. She is one of two coaches in the entire, and she hates when we blow her up, but I'm going to blow her up anyway because, you know, you deserve it. And so she's one of two in the entire network that have hit elite 9 times in a row. Which in and of itself is an amazing feat. Her team, Sparta Nation, brings it every single year. She's a superstar diamond. She is obviously Success Club All-Star, legend, all that good stuff. I served on the cab with her. I'll tell the story, and then I have a team announcement, and I'm going to turn it over to the questions. But my first leadership, I walk in and I'm nervous. If some of you that have been to leadership before, your first leadership, you just feel like a real small fish in a big pond. And the first person that I see is Julie Boris. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Julie Boris. And she's talking to Darren Hardy. I'll never forget this, getting her compound effect signed. And she's like, all her 6 feet tall, talking to Darren Hardy, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Julie Voris. But since then, I don't fangirl as much anymore. But she's been a great inspiration to me in the business, and I'm grateful for our friendship. And so before I start hammering, and you're going to be on the hot seat tonight, but before we get into that, I kind of just wanted to bring our team up to speed on our collaboration training, plus another training that actually just popped up today, more for some of our more seasoned coaches. So you guys, it's an exciting time in our business right now. Obviously, the first quarter is behind us, and we are headed into summit season. And if you guys know Julie, she's Miss Indianapolis, she's Miss Indiana. And so, Diesel Nation coming into her hometown is a big deal to her. And she wants, this is like straight from her mouth, she wants every single Diesel Nation coach going to summit in Indy to be a diamond or above. That's what she said.
That's right.
Every single one of them should be diamonds walking into Indianapolis. So this is what we're going to do, you guys. We're teaming up. Julie and I are teaming up for a collaboration training focused on getting Emerald coaches to push to diamond in order to qualify for that Diamond Summit track. So if you guys are aware, this year, the network begged for it, kind of some training that was more specific to your experience in the business. So coaches are going to get, coach and Emerald coaches are going to get training at Summit. Diamond coaches can qualify for a diamond level training at Summit, which is going to be fantastic. And then you have the leadership, which is 2-star and above, having a separate training. So all of you that are, and we talked about this last week, but all of you that are right now coach level or emeralds, and I know, God, I know that so many of you, because I have like 6 of you on my PS team that have like 7 coaches and are not yet diamond, are right there ready to pull that trigger, right? So that you qualify. There you are, Michelle girl, I'm talking to you. You guys can push for that diamond training. We're going to focus on the art of recruiting, which everyone needs to really, really hammer in because it is how we grow our business. So more to come on that. We're gonna in the next few weeks, you're gonna start seeing that kind of start boiling up in the Diesel Nation Rising page so that we can get started. And we're shooting for a prep week starting April 22nd. Right. And we're collaborating with Sparta Nation, so maybe some of you guys can become success partners, and it's gonna be fun. I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna have fun in the process of building towards diamond. That's one group. So now where are my existing diamond coaches? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. There's a bunch of you. We're at 120 people on this call. It's awesome, you guys. So existing diamond coaches. And this just came out of like thin air today. And I don't know why I feel blessed by it. But Julie and I are part of a Superstar Diamond thread. And Amy Rada, do you guys know who Amy Rada is? She's a top 10 coach, one of the new firecrackers in the network, is like, let's do a 2-star push. And all the superstars are like, yes. So guess what? We're doing that too. So if you're a paid diamond already, you have to be a paid diamond. More to come on this as well, you guys. But a paid diamond pushing for 2-star, you're going to be in a, check this out. Not only are you going to have Julie and I, but you're going to have Amy, Moira, Janelle Summers is participating in that. Lindsay Matway is participating in. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on of all the amazing leaders that are going to be participating in this push to 2-star, because we all know that the magic really happens at that rank. It's when you get your second business center. And so we want to get you guys focused in on those activities to get to that rank and then beyond. Now, people like Michelle, I'm talking to you, sister, you can actually qualify for both groups at this point. You could push to diamond and then qualify for the 2-star diamond push, which is amazing. So you guys, stuff to think about, more on it. We're going to do more posts in the Diesel Nation Rising page. And so are you excited? I think I am. I know you are. Okay, so we're going to have Julie Voris on the hot seat. I'm going to put, okay, I'm on the speed. I'm like showing now, but when she starts talking, she's going to be there. I asked you guys for questions. Here they are. Thank you, Paulina, for putting these in a document so I could read them off. What's cool, what Paulina did is she separated all the questions into kind of like headings, like headings of the, I know she's such a rock star. So these are the headings. So you guys know where we're going. You can take notes and all that jazz. The first one's inviting, which is always, you know, the $1 million question. Then we have presenting the business opportunity, another heading. We have a heading of social media, mentoring and leadership, organizing your biz, and then live events, which Julie loves. Like, I should probably start there. That's like her, that's like her dizzy jam. Okay, so first question to Julie. What are your best invites that you get the most curiosity and responses back from? Like, what is that technique that you get the most bites from?
So let me preface that by saying I've been a coach for 11 years. And the business has changed enormously in those 11 years. So if you, me, Christina, anyone, if we're still doing exactly in our business what we were doing last year, 2 years ago, 11 years ago, we're not going anywhere in our business. So I think that's a really interesting question, because that answer has evolved. When I started the business, I was on MySpace. So that tells you how long I've been doing it. I was on MySpace, you know, and then we evolved to Facebook, and we literally could put just an invite sort of out there on Facebook, and people would be like, yes, and come on in. And then we evolved to message strands, and then we would evolve to Instagram, and inviting is inviting. It's just that the platform has changed. It's the same process. It's just now from MySpace to Facebook to Instagram to stories to whatever is next. It's just that the platform has changed. And I think the best invitations will always be, no matter what the platform is, the best invitations are your story. And I was sharing with Christina earlier today, I have a girl on my team who's lost 100 pounds. Her name's Amanda Maddock, and I'm hoping she's on stage at Summit for that. And her story is her drawing point. That's where she's going to bring people in. And I tell that to you because sometimes she will send her invitations to me to proofread, and I send them right back to her, because I've never lost 100 pounds. I am not her target audience. Her story is her invitation. Your story is your invitation. So what's my story? My story was I was a high school English teacher, and then I became a fitness instructor, and my husband is a college football coach, and I've got 3 daughters, and my highest priority is saying yes to them for experiences and opportunities. And that's why I build this business, which is not the same as someone who's lost 100 pounds. Your invitation, no matter what platform it's on, is your story. And if you aren't sharing that, it doesn't matter how beautifully crafted your fancy little invitation is because it's not your story. So I can't proof Amanda's invite very well because it doesn't resonate with me. I haven't lost 100 pounds. And if you are looking at someone else's story and trying to take it to make it your own, it will never resonate. What is your story? And I'm telling you that as someone who, when I came into the business, remember I came in, it was 11 years ago, it was MySpace. We didn't have a coach online office. We didn't have challenge packs and we didn't have Shakeology. So please don't tell me you can't build a business now because we had Jack then. Okay. So you're good. You're golden right now. When I came into the business, we had P90X, Rockin' Body, and Yoga Booty Ballet. And everyone was a P90X success story. And I remember looking around going, what am I going to do? How am I going to build this business? I'm not a P90X success story. I don't have a story. Oh, yes, I did. I just had to figure it out and then also continue to write it along the way. You don't have a story that has a beginning and an end. My story isn't done yet just because I've been coaching 11 years. My story now continues to change because now my girls are a little older. So now we go into the next chapter of the story. Your invitation, whatever platform it's on, will only work if you're sharing your story, and you're talking to the person that you were before Beachbody, period. That's how you invite, period.
I agree. And that could be on a post. That could be on a Instagram stories where you build, I was sharing that with the team last week using apps like Unfold where you tap, and every tap is a piece of your story. Build and you build. Yes. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Thank you. Okay. Next question is about presenting the Biz Opportunity.
Okay.
Would you recommend inviting people to take a look at the coaching opportunity via third-party tools or sneak peek if they haven't yet used our products? Or do you only invite your current customers to look at coaching? Or, there's a three-part, or do your coaching invites vary based on the conversations you're having?
Yes.
Alex, I'll take number 3 for $100.
Yes, number 3. Yes to all of it. But I will say this. I believe, and this is old school, but I will continue to believe this. I believe the best coaches come from our challenge groups. So in a most perfect world, a challenger will come in April, get great results, become a coach in May so that they can continue their Shakeology on a discount, continue to get great results and start sharing those results in a perfect world. But at the same time, when I became a coach, and remember, 11 years ago, we certainly did not have the success stories that we saw. But when I became a coach, we were so poor. My husband hates when I talk about money because he doesn't like anyone. We were really freaking poor, like really poor. We had to ask my in-laws for a loan. Poor. That's embarrassing. And it's really hard to get past that. And if I would have come into the business as a customer and someone would have known a way for me to save money and didn't share it with me, and I was paying more, I would have been pissed. And I remember that. So I'm never going to not offer someone the business opportunity because they can save money. And who am I to tell someone that not to save money? I want everyone to save money because I needed every single penny I could possibly get. At the same time, in a perfect world, I really would rather have someone come in as a challenger and organically start to get results, become a coach, and start sharing those results. Does that always happen? No. Am I always going to tell someone there's a way to save money? Yes, because I needed that. Remember, it goes back to your story. I needed that. So I'm going to share that with people. And then I have to be really careful to not pressure them into working the business in case they're not ready for that yet. Because not everyone is ready for the business. You know, as my husband says, not everyone wants to be the quarterback. They just don't. So there are people who will simply just go about their lives and enjoy the discount. Awesome. Those people are amazing. And then there are those people who are going to take the ball and run with it. I think the best people that become coaches are the ones that come in as challengers and then make that organic shift. But I also am never going to not offer the opportunity to save money to someone because I needed that. So I think I can't put my head on the pillow at night and rest easy if I'm not sharing that with someone and that they're spending more money than they have to. If I share it with someone and they don't care, that they're spending more money, that's not my decision to make. But it's also not my decision to make for them if they're going to be a coach or not. It's only my opportunity to share that with them, and then they can make that decision. I don't know if that answers the question, but that's kind of where I come from on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm with you on that. I remember hearing that at leadership once. The best or the most, diamond coaches typically were customers first. I'm finding it in my business that when I talk about the business opportunity, which I do a lot, and I'm trying to get our team to embrace that culture as well, that it's okay to talk about the business opportunity and not be afraid of that. I'm getting a lot of people, not a lot, but I'm getting new coaches onto my team that have a lot of experience with Beachbody, but not with the community. They've done it on their own for years.
So
and
interesting.
Yeah, so there's that, they're coming in with all this Beachbody experience already, not even having participated in a group, but having the results. And I'm attracting them because I'm talking about the business. And they're like, oh, okay, so that's like the next step for me, So talk about the business, you guys. Okay.
Because when you think about it, just as much, if not more, what has changed your life? What has changed my life? It's the business.
Yep.
I mean, hands down. For me, because I'm a fitness person, does everything start with fitness? It does for me, because I believe to my bone that if you do one more squat or pick up a little heavier weight or do one more lunge or one more push-up, that bleeds over into every other part of your life. I believe that with every fiber of my being, that it starts with fitness. But what changed my family's lives? The opportunity. What got us to the place where we don't have to worry if we're going to make it to the end of the month and run out of money? The opportunity, period. So if I'm going to lead with something that's changed my life the most, it has to be the business. What's sending my 3 girls to college? The business, period. So I have to share that, because there are families out there who were us before this business came into their lives, and they're wondering if they're going to make it to the end of the month and be able to pay their bills, or how they're going to send their kids to college, or they have children who want to take ballet lessons or singing lessons or go on this, trip or this educational opportunity, whatever it might be. And it stinks to say no to your children. Like, I will stab my pencil through my eyeball before I have to say no to my girls when it's an opportunity or an experience for them. That's horrible as a parent. And that was a driving force. I never want to say that to them. And because of this business, not necessarily the programs, because of this business, we create a life every day where we can say yes to their experiences and opportunities. And here's what's cool. Their lives are different, and their children's lives will be different, and their children's lives will be different. Just because I said yes to pressing play and drinking a shake and reading a book and building a team. Like, who knew? And that's what happens. It's such an incredible ripple effect. So when you think about the piece that has changed your life the most, chances are it's a business. So how can we not be sharing that?
Amen, sister. Okay, this is a great question for you. How do you approach someone who is already a fitness professional or a personal trainer and has their own business?
Well, what do they mean by has their own business? Like has their own gym?
Yeah, or personal training client, like book of business. They have clients, personal training clients.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the deal. Here's the real deal. So I work at the YMCA here in town. I started teaching group exercise classes long before I was a Beachbody coach, and I was a master trainer. I went from being a high school English teacher, which makes super amount of money, to a fitness instructor at the Y. Whee! So, and then I became a master trainer. So I'm working all these hours. But here's the thing. I'm only getting paid when I'm working those hours. So the only time I make my $11 an hour is when I'm actually teaching for that hour at the Y or doing that training. It's the only time. So as a personal trainer, that personal trainer has to work 10 or 12 hours a day, 10 or 12 hours a day, 10 or 12 hours a day. And the time that they don't work those 10 or 12 hours a day, guess what? They don't get paid. They don't get paid if they don't show up. I don't get paid my $11 an hour at the Y if I don't show up. And as a fitness professional, for me to say to someone that the only way that they can get fit is to show up to my Thursday 10:15 turbo kick class, that's the only way they can get fit, that's a disservice to that person and just to the idea of fitness and health in general. Because our job is to connect them with solutions that work. As coaches, as fitness professionals, as trainers, but our job is to help them live their healthiest lives. I hope that's taking my live class and probably doing my challenge group and probably drinking Energize and drinking Shakeology, because there are as many ways to get fit as there are human beings on this planet. And if someone is in the fitness profession, They're only getting paid for when they work. I can't put 3 girls through college on $11 an hour at the Fishers YMCA. Not happening. But I can use Beachbody and this coaching opportunity to expand my platform to reach people that I might not have ever even met, which isn't that what I want to do if I'm in fitness anyway, is change people's lives and help them lead their healthiest life. And it can't just be from taking my class. And what about the mom who loves to come to my class, but one Thursday morning, her kid's sick? Does that mean she just doesn't work out? She now can't be fit because she didn't get to come to my class? No, I've got to be able to give her options. And the more options I can give her, the more connected and the more relationship we have. And then maybe she goes, I bet I could do that too. Because not everyone wants to go to a gym and stand in front of people and put on a microphone and teach class. But everyone needs movement in their life. And that's what the business is about. It's not about building a business off being a fitness professional. Being a fitness professional could be part of what you do. Yes. And Beachbody allows me to expand my platform, but not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone wants to be a master trainer. I can't build a business on that, but I can build a business on going down to my basement and pressing play, because everybody needs movement. And I want Sally Joe down the street to look at what I do and go, oh, I could do that. But if I'm only talking about teaching class, Sally Joe down the street might not want to teach class. She might not want to go to the gym. Maybe she has a little newborn baby. She can't go to the gym, but she could probably go to her basement and press play. So when you're a fitness instructor, when you're a fitness professional, you have these amazing people already in your life. And now as a coach, you get to put even more incredible options and connections and solutions in their life to help them live a better life, a healthier life. So it all melds together in this most beautiful symmetry that is not, I think fitness instructors who fight it, who don't get it, don't understand it. That's ego. To me, that's all ego, because being a coach and being a fitness instructor, it blends together so beautifully.
Amen. Damn. Mic drop. All right. Next question. You kind of covered it with when you were talking about telling your story, but what are some of the ways you talk about the coaching opportunity on social media?
I really try to use it. And again, this is a constant evolution. Because some of you are, I'm sure, significantly younger than I am and have come into the business sooner than I have and have probably come into social media sooner than I have. So this is still a constant learning process for me to speak on social media, almost kind of like I would just be talking to you right now, making sure that voice is very authentic. The best way for me, the way that I feel most authentic, is to try to connect people, not just to my story, but how it can fit into that, how this story can be their story too, if that makes sense. So it's not just, some people might want the community. So I want to make sure I'm talking about my team and the community. But some people, that weirds them out. They don't want to be around the community, but they need the income. So I need to make sure I'm talking about the income too, because I needed that. Some people don't need the income. They want the fitness and the nutrition. Okay, I have to make sure I'm talking about that too. It's connecting all the dots back to this opportunity. And my most authentic story will always be dead set in the center of, I couldn't say yes to my girls before, and now I can. So on social media, I want to try to do my very best to connect all those strings sort of back to that. I did a post last week talking about how some people think that if you're already fit and active, you don't need the business. That's only one piece of it. If you would have looked at me and judged me on, well, she's already teaching classes, she's already fit and active, she doesn't need Beachbody, you wouldn't have known that the deeper story behind that was we couldn't even get to the end of the month and pay our bills. I needed the income. I needed the community. So you're always thinking about the different pieces, the different dots that are this business, and then trying to bring those back into your story. Because we all needed something different coming into it. And then we all also found something else that we didn't know we needed once we got here. So I have to talk about all those pieces when I'm talking about it on social media. I have to talk about saying yes to my girls. I have to talk about how it's more than just fitness. I have to be okay with talking about the fact that we needed the income. I talk about the fact that I really didn't have community before, and now I do. And so that's how I talk about it on social media, always coming back to my story. What is your story? What are the pieces that you needed? And then what are the pieces that you found that you didn't even know you needed? That's what you're talking about on social media. Because if you needed it, the person you want on your team needs it too.
Yeah. I'm starting to develop a presentation that I want to put together called Lead with What You Love.
Oh, I love that.
And because I find like everyone is so fearful to talk about the business opportunity for some reason. For me, I do it so freely, and I get it. Like, you know, we've had success, right? We built a team, we have the income, we've achieved high ranks in the company and all that stuff. But I didn't get there, and you didn't get there without talking about the business. And it's like, how do we connect those dots for a new coach to come in, or a diamond coach that, you know, came in and, you know, has a discount coach organization to feel confident in talking about the business. So I'm toying with this idea of leading with what you love. Like, what are those 3 things about coaching that are like fire you up, that get you excited? Is it live events? Is it workouts with your team? Is it the Thursday paychecks? Is it when your coach does a shout out for you, whatever? And so to lead with those things, because that's who I think you would want on your team, is people similar to that want similar things. So I think you nailed it. I do think that you have to get out of your comfort zone and maybe even broach some topics that make you uncomfortable. I know when I talk about the income part, it makes me uncomfortable of where we were, because I shouldn't have been in that position. I was an attorney, for crying out loud, and we were broke. And that's not right for that to be a reality for someone. And so you have to push through and always, I think, remove yourself from the equation. And I'm just adding a little, you know, footnote to Julie's awesome content, but is remove yourself and your ego from the equation and realize who is it that you're serving in telling this story. It's not about you, it's about them and the income that you can make. I mean, not the income, the impact that you, the income will come later. The impact that you can make by sharing your story. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving into mentorship and leadership. I love this question. At what point did you start seeing business builders coming into your team? What do you think changed that made that a reality?
You know, that is a really great question too, because, and again, if you've been a coach as long as I have, you have these seasons and these mountains and these valleys and these just different seasons in your life. And it feels like as a coach, I have almost like crops that come in, and there'll be this one crop of coaches, and they'll take off and they'll be leaders. And then a couple of years later, there'll be another crop. And then a couple of years later, there'll be another crop. It's not like it happens every year for me. And you know, when I think about what I did to find those people, for me, it always goes back to fitness. My best leaders on my team, for me, come through some sort of connection to fitness, because that's what I love. So whether they were in my classes, whether I did a training with them, whether I did a live event somewhere, whether they came to a Super Saturday as a guest and I did a live workout, there was some connection with fitness. And those are the coaches who are my lifers, who are my leaders. They have that connection. I don't have to convince them to work out. For you on your team, it could be something completely different, could be something completely else. But for me, it's these people with this love of fitness. And when they start to see that it can be bigger than just the workout in their home or just teaching a class, when they start to see that it can be bigger than that, and they can help someone else have that connection, and you see that light bulb go on for them, that's when you go, aha, here's someone. Let's go. Let's see what happens. And then you start to push a little bit, and you see how they respond to the push. And then you push a little bit more, and you see how they respond to the push. And you push a little bit more, and you see how they respond to the push. And thankfully, my husband, as a football coach, and I will talk about this a lot, because sometimes, because we're human, and a lot of us are female and emotionally attached to a lot of what's happening, you know, I'm like, I don't understand. And I get very frustrated. Or I get very upset. And because he coaches 19 and 20-year-old kids and is the very same person, whether we're up 56-0 or down 56-0, will say to me, you getting frustrated or you saying XYZ to that person, will that create the result you want? Will that help them get to whatever it is? And I'm like, no. And I'm kind of annoyed that you're right now. And he'll say, Okay, what's going to create the result that you want? And that's that little sort of voice in my head has helped me, not every time, but some more so than not, ferret out of people what's going to help them get to that next level. You have to see in them what they don't see in themselves. And we've all had that. I had it. You have it. You get to be that for someone else. And when that other person starts to catch that vision and starts to see in themselves, whether they believe it or not, what you see in them, that's when they start to go. You see it before they do. Just like you see it in your children before they do, you see it in your spouse. So you see it in your coaches. When you see that not something that you put in them, but something you see in them, and then you help them catch that vision, that's when they're going to start to run. And remember, not everyone can be the quarterback. So not everyone's going to take the ball and run with it, no matter how much potential you see in them. But for my team, the coaches that are my lifers, the coaches that I have the strongest connection to, the ones that I want to see succeed so badly are the ones that we have some sort of tie with fitness. There's just something super powerful about sweating next to someone and having that fitness connection. And I see in them what can be, and then finesse that push and hope that I can help them see that too and catch the vision on that. I think it's a transfer of belief. And sometimes we try to manufacture that belief in someone. You know, we need the diamond, so let's manufacture it. And then it never really works. But when you truly see that in someone, and you see someone starting to grasp, wait, I can pay for my spring break plane tickets with my Beachbody business. And you said, yes, you can. You start to see them catch that. You can help them dig out their potential. I think that's one of the coolest pieces of this business is, aside from the constant culture of evolution and growth and learning from the top down, from our CEO down, period, is this opportunity to sort of dig out what's in us and bring it out. And that comes through doing an extra squat when you didn't think you could, and doing another push-up when you didn't think you could, and doing an hour-long workout when you didn't think you could, and going up and down on a step when you were like, no one does step anymore. Yes, we do. And doing all this and reading a personal development book and drinking a shake and getting on a team call at 8:30 at night when you can be doing something else. And all that stuff starts to uncover what's already in you if you let it. I think that's the coolest part about this business. All that sweat, all that salt from that sweat starts to rub away the stuff. And if we let it, it brings out what's already in us. And our job as coaches is to help polish that up a little bit and let that person see what we probably already see in them anyway.
Yes, love that. Okay, next question. What does your coach onboarding system look like? How does it compare now to when you were a baby diamond coach?
Well, my coach onboarding system right now is probably very similar to the one that you have, given that we are both part of very veteran, large teams. So my coach onboarding system is not any different than the one you have access to, both in your team page and in your coach online office. And frankly, it really doesn't matter what my coach onboarding process is, because that would only work for the people that I'm bringing on. So what works for you? Because it's probably what's already in your team page and probably what's already in your coach online office. And I'm going to tell you that if you make it complicated, it's not going to work. So what did you need when you came on as a coach? And remember, I was a baby diamond coach 11 years ago on MySpace. So that we can't even talk about that situation. Now it doesn't even make sense anymore. So what did you need when you came on as a coach? Did you need guidance through your workout program? Did you need guidance for your personal development? Did you need guidance in creating an invitation list? Then do that and go back to your team page and look what's already there, and go in your coach online office and look what's already there, because what works for me is not going to work for you, because it may not be the same people. Go to your team page and look what's in there. That is the beautiful part about being part of this amazing veteran Diesel Nation team, is you have so many resources you probably haven't even begun to tap into them. What did you need as a baby coach? Do that. and then expand from there.
Love it. Love it. I love when you give those truth bombs. All right. You're great at the next few questions. I am not, so I will be taking notes.
Oh boy.
Organizing your life and your business.
No
Okay,
pressure.
I struggle between balancing working a full-time job, part-time coaching, and family life. Do you have any helpful tips on how to schedule it all in?
Okay, so let me just turn my volume up here a little bit to make sure you can hear me. So number one, can we please remove the word balance from your life? Okay, are there children on this call? I hope not. That's bullshit because there's nothing about balance in life. Okay, so stop it. You're not balancing. You're not a seesaw. Nothing's going to balance, all right? Because when you have a newborn baby, is that balance? No, that is all newborn baby. Do you feel one bit of guilt about that? No, you do not, because that is the season that you are in, period. So stop with the BS stuff about, I need to balance it all. No, you do not. No, you do not. You have X amount of hours in your day. Some of those hours, if you're working full, so let's say if I was doing this business when I was teaching high school English, okay? So X amount of hours in my day had to be physically at the high school teaching. Usually that was like, 7:30 to 3:30 or whatever. Okay, so those, let's say physically at the high school teaching. Okay, that meant I had time in the morning and I had time in the evening. Okay, time in the evening was picking up my daughters from daycare, working out, because yep, I did that, even though I had children, because that's called taking care of me. Did that, and then spent the evening with them, and then bed. So that meant in the morning, if I was working this business, but I did this anyway, and I wasn't working the business. Lord knows I wish I would have had it. In the morning, I would have gotten up, because without the business, I got up at like 4:30 to get stuff done before I had to take them to daycare, to be at the high school, to come home. Because remember, my husband's a football coach. So he's gone 90% of the time. So it's me and my girls. We are a pack, okay? So if I was building this business, I would have been getting up at 4 a.m. and I would have said, okay, I have 30 minutes on a given day to work the business. Awesome. What are my income producing activities? Where do I get the biggest return on investment? I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go take my shower. And while I'm getting ready, I'm listening to my personal development. And then I'm making my shake and getting my children. I'm taking them to daycare. I'm working my full-time job. I'm coming home, grading my papers, getting my workout in, spending time with my family, going to bed. On the weekends, I'm going to spend extra time with my family. I'm also going to get my workout in. And instead of maybe only 30 minutes, I'm going to spend maybe an hour on my business. And that is my season right now. And I am going to do that so freaking consistently that at some point I get to say, you know what? I'm not going to do this teaching thing anymore. And I'm going to stop doing that. And then I'm going to be in a different season of life. There is no such thing as balance. It is season. I was talking to Micah Folson's team, and they were all on the call with like their babies and their little ones. And they're like, how do you do it with little ones? I'm like, let me just tell you something. My youngest one was 5 years old when I started this business. I have built this entire business in the meat of the most busy time of your children ever. Elementary, middle school, and high school. The most busy time with 3 girls in high-level activities and a husband who's not home, which means I was driving. I built my business in the meat of their most busy times. I did calls in the car sometimes. I got up really early. I would stay up later. I listened to personal development when they were in the car. We just did it. You just do it. And you know, it's so funny, Josie, my middle one, who's so perceptive sometimes, she said to me, she goes, some of these young coaches of yours, Mom, they're so worried about not spending all this time with their kids. She goes, I literally do not ever remember sitting on the couch and going, I wish my mom would snuggle with me. She's like, I never said, I just wish my mom would snuggle with me. And I'm like, I don't. She goes, no one wishes that. She only knew, did I pick her up from ballet? Awesome, because that's when we had some time in the car. Cool. Did she care if I drove her to ballet? Not really, because you know what she cared about? Getting there. Okay. Does she want me to pick her up? Yeah. She want me to pick her up. Okay. There is no such thing as balance, and your kids need you less than you think, but you have to be extremely intentional with your time. If you've not read Shonda Rhimes' book, Year of Yes, read it. I cannot recommend it enough. She was going through this because there's nobody busier than Shonda Rhimes. She's writing like 10,000 amazing shows, and she's got children, and she was going through this period of life. Like, she felt so guilty about not spending all this time with her children. So in her year of yes, she started sitting every time her children would come up and say they wanted to play with her. She said yes, every time. Yes, yes, yes. And do you know what she found out? The amount of time that they want to play with her is 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And then they really didn't care if she was there anymore. They were on about their business. She, in her mind, was like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down and play with them. It's going to be 6 hours and I'm never going to get the next episode of Grey's Anatomy written. No, they needed her for 15 minutes. And then they were done with her. But somehow, as parents, we have forgotten that we felt that way as children. And we, as moms especially, have put this amazing like guilt, responsibility, something that we've got to spend 24 hours with our children. They really don't want that. I promise you, they don't want that. It's not balance. It's seasons. And as long as and I guarantee you that my children know without a doubt exactly why I've built this business for them. And I was not with them 24 hours a day. Sometimes I missed a practice. Sometimes I even missed a game or a show. And they know exactly why I build this business. They know exactly why. So next year when Jessie goes to college, she knows why and how she's going. She knows. So stop the guilt and the balance. It's non-existent. Seasons. You're building this business for your family, both now and in the future. And there will be seasons where you are with your family a lot, and there are seasons when you're not. And it all evens out in the wash. And anything else is wasted energy. That's all I have to say about balance.
I love it. God, will you marry me? They know that's exactly how I feel about balance too.
Well, here's the thing. No one asked my husband about that.
Yeah.
No one asked my husband about that. And he's gone 90% of the time. And no one goes, gosh, JV, how do you balance being a dad and a Division I college football coach? What? No one asked him. Yeah. Why are we asking the women?
Amen.
Stop it.
All right, you covered a lot of ground with that answer. So I'm going to jump to how do you plan out your month? And that's one question. And then I'm going to finish it off with the summit question, which I love. So how do you plan out your month in terms of, what strategies do you take to plan any given month?
So I don't know that I plan month by month. I definitely plan program by program. So it's, however long the program is, however long I'm doing that. You want to say hi to Christina? It's Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
Jessie, tell them why I build my business.
Hi.
Hi, Jessie.
Why do I build my business?
So we can go on Disney cruises.
That, yes. Go to college.
I can go to college, go on vacation, can do dance and singing, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. That's why you do it. I strategize more in like program so when we started Transform 20, that was mid-January to end of February, 6 weeks. So I kind of plan it like, okay, Transform 20, 21 day fix extreme, hybrid calendar, morning meltdown. So I don't really plan like January, February, March, April. I plan programs, and I am a huge believer in the power of the morning. And I'm a huge believer in the power of routine. So getting up in the morning, getting workout in, doing gratitude goals, things, I'm just a creature of habit when it comes to routine. I think the less we have to think about some of the pieces of our day, the less we can attach emotion to it, and the less not so great decision we might make, which is the same with nutrition. So alarm goes off at 5. There's no, do I really want to get up at 5? That has nothing to do with the alarm going off at 5 and me getting up. Because if you're asking me if I want to get up at 5, you're asking the wrong question. The question is, do I want to build a business that changes lives? The answer to that question is yes. So that means I need to get up at 5. There's no snooze, there's no nothing. Goes off, I get up, period. I'm pressing play by 6. At 6:30, I'm coming up. I'm making Jessie shake. I'm starting to get Jessie up. Jessie does like the snooze button. She doesn't get up at 5, and she may take several attempts for me to get her up. So once we've had that conversation a couple times, and then get her to school, and then going through my to-do, I have a notebook that I do my to-dos in, going through my calendars, and then I just start this process every day of emails and challenge groups and posting, and I just kind of work through it. And that routine keeps me so focused and on track. There's no emotion attached to it. So it's not for me that I'm planning out necessarily month by month. I'm planning program by program, my year. And then within every day, I'm working off a routine. And I just work really hard to strip away any emotion from the actions and just focus on the actions. It's not that I want to get up at 5. I need to get up at 5 to get everything else done. It's not that I want to press play at 6 a.m. I press play at 6 a.m. because that's what we do with our challenge group, and that's going to help me have a better rest of my day. I try to really strip away any of the emotion, focus on the activities that are going to get me the most return on investment, and then just move through them without any sort of drama and thinking about it. I just move through them. And I think the more we can do that, especially as women, the more effective we become, and we stop feeling just busy and we start feeling productive. If you are waiting till your children get up, you're already behind in your day, period. You have to be up before they are. So for me, that's going to be 5 a.m. Now, as Rachel Hall says, if you have a newborn baby, don't be dumb. Don't be like getting up super early when they've only slept an hour that night. But when your children are sleeping all through the night, if you are waiting to get up till they get up, you're already behind the 8 ball. You've got to start your day ahead of time, and then work through your morning routine, and then find the routine that works for you. My routine might not work for you. You got to find the routine that works for you. You have to commit to it, take out the emotion, and then plan in a way that works for you. Is that by program? Is that by month? Is that by week? The power is in the program. So you've got to be doing a program start to finish. And I tell you that as someone who didn't do that for a long time because I was teaching class so much. The power's in the program. So I structure my year via what programs I'm doing.
Awesome. I love that. There's so many different ways to like kind of frame that response. Like I was talking to you today, Danielle McKean, she's on the call. She was telling me today a new strategy that she's using in her business, and I shared it with you. You were like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Where she's taking 1 month and focusing on challenge groups and fitness stories so that she could fill a rock star challenge group. And then the next month is taking a full month to talk about coaching and the coaching opportunity and sponsoring coaches on her team. Then you have coaches like me that'll do, obviously strategy wise, it's always with the program, just like you, Julie. But in terms of, attracting new customers and new coaches, I'll split my month in two, like in 2 pieces. Like the first 2 weeks, I'll, focus on filling my challenge group. The last 2 weeks of the month, I'll focus on sponsoring some new coaches. So there's so many different kind of ways to frame that. I don't think there's no right way. There's no wrong way, as long as you're doing it. Right. Doing it purposefully. Okay. Last question is, when did your business change? Before or after Summit? That's a softball question. Did your business change after Summit? Let's really give you a softball.
So you don't mean Summit in Indianapolis?
I'm talking about let's take it back to baby June.
The first Summit, like the very first Summit in LA that I was at, that none of you were at.
Yeah.
That was like, you guys, like Sean did a workout that first Summit in LA. Sean T did a workout that was literally in the room the size of my kitchen. There were like 30 of us in there, and he was on like a little 6-inch platform and then did meet and greets afterwards. It was like, there was like 12 people at Summit. It was so crazy. Because I come from the fitness world, because I've seen it in practice, I believe there is nothing more powerful than a live event, especially one that encompasses a workout. There's nothing more powerful than a live event. When you can work out next to someone, sweat with someone, look someone in the eye, see the light bulb go on in their eyes, feel the passion and the energy, have someone have a conversation with you, not even the keynote speaker, but the conversation in the elevator, the conversation walking to your seat, whatever, there is absolutely nothing more powerful than that, because you see that if they can do it, you can too, period. So it's not that summit changed my business, it's that live events changed my life. And I brought that into my business. So when I became a coach, I had already been a master trainer and a fitness instructor for 7 years. It just made sense to me that we were going to do live events in Indiana. I didn't know what Beachbody was doing. I just knew if we're going to start building a team here, it's going to be around live events. So I just started doing live events, and we would do literally pizza parties and potluck dinners in this I live in the same house that I've always lived in. So this very house right here at this kitchen table, we would have pizza and potluck dinners, or go down to my basement, or we'd meet up at the pizza place up the road, and we would have a book club. And then we maybe would rent a venue if someone had a connection. We would bring in a speaker. And then I started going, okay, I want more speakers. So I'm just going to try to figure out how I can bring Chalene Johnson. So I did. And then I brought Brett Hobel, and then I brought Shanti. And then I just know the power in live events, and you can't wait for someone else to do them, because there's nothing more powerful than a live event. So if you are not in Miami where there's a local team event, figure it out. Because I think I might have been the first coach in Indiana. Well, nobody was doing a live event, a live Beachbody event in Indiana. So we made them and we created them. And that became the cornerstone of our team. It became the reason why people know our team. It became the reason why when someone goes, oh, I'm a Beachbody, I'm a Beachbody coach. And I'll go, oh, where? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm like somewhere in your downline, somewhere, because we started with live events. And that's how we grew. That's how we grew our presence. And that's how we grew our reputation. That's how we grew our credibility. And if you are ever needing inspiration, get to a live event. Yep. If you are on fire with inspiration, someone else needs it. So go to a live event. So whatever challenge, question, issue, celebration, struggle you have, go to a live event, because either someone needs it or you need it. And you will, hands down, walk out of there better if you go into that live event with an open heart, ready to learn, and just like, all right, let's go. Because I think those are the heartbeat of our business. That's where you look into someone's eyes and go, shoot, you're not any smarter or more creative than I am, and you figured it out. I can figure this out. I can do this too. And then you work out next to them and you high five them. You're like, all right, let's go. And it's this amazing shared energy where you can have the same language, where you can have the same feeling, and everybody gets it. And you're not the weirdo talking about health and fitness. You're in a room with other weirdos who are just as passionate about it as you are. And that reminds you, you know what, this isn't so weird after all. And actually, I don't care if you think I'm weird, because I'm going to change my family's life with this thing. And you have to get in the room to remind yourself of that. So if you are like, oh, my child has a basketball practice that morning, I can't go to Super Saturday. Jessie, have I missed occasionally things of yours for Beachbodies? Yes, I have. Are you okay with normal and good? Yeah. Be fine, okay? They don't care if you miss a practice or rehearsal. They care, though, if you could maybe take them on a Disney cruise or send them to college. That's really cool. You don't have to be at every practice. You can miss that to get to Super Saturday. It's that important. It's that important.
So you're saying that everyone on this call should be registered for Super Weekend coming up?
Yes, everyone should be at Super Weekend, and everyone should be coming to Summit. Like, it's just such a,
awesome.
When people are like, I just don't know. Like, I went last year. I'm like, and your point is, what, did you go on vacation last year? And I bet you're going this year too. Like, it's just non-negotiable. Did you take a shower yesterday? I bet you are today too. So you have to be in the room, period. It is the game changer. It is the game changer.
Julie, Voris, what did you drink today? Gee, because seriously, this thread is like firing up.
I didn't even look to see if there are questions. I didn't even.
No, everything is like, yes, preach, mic drop, boom. Like, we love Jessie, it's like,
Jessie has a performance in a couple weeks. If anyone needs tickets, please let me know. She's in the musical at the high school, so I am her agent now. So
So great. That's so great. Well, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope everyone now that didn't know Julie before, obviously our team knows who you are, but the new coaches, I just scrolled the list and we have a lot of new coaches listening in, that you're now excited to get into this training that we're going to be hosting together. So just a tidbit, in order to get into that training, you have to be an Emerald coach. So if you're sitting right now, coach level coach, sponsor your first 2 coaches. If you have 1 coach, sponsor another coach so that you can get into that training. Diesel Nation also, Super Saturday is a non-negotiable, or Super Weekend is a non-negotiable. So get into your back office, find your local event and get there. If you're in South Florida, I mean, I think, anywhere from the Georgia-Florida line down, you need to be in South Florida for Shanti. I mean, that's what I would do. I've driven a bunch for Super Saturdays. You guys can do it too.
Seriously, like we always did that back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, we would all carpool. Like those were some of the coolest conversations, were 6 coaches in a car driving to Nashville and then going to that first event and going, oh, I could probably do this in Indiana, and coming back, and doing it and seeing it live in person and sharing a room, and just those conversations on the drive down and back.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah, one of my first Super Saturdays was waking up at like 3:30 in the morning and driving to Lindsay Matway's Super Saturday in Tampa, meeting Carl for the first time in person. I mean, game changer. We got home and we were like dead tired, but it was a game changer for. And there's coaches on this call that were at that event. We went like 7 of us, and we're still coaches and we're still thriving. So, yeah, amen. Okay, it's been an hour. I can't thank you enough. My friend, that was incredible. Our team learned so much today, and you're so good at delivering the message of belief and consistency, and you're living proof that the business works. You are the one of 2 coaches in the network that's a 9-time elite coach, and that, I mean, I think you just showcased today on our call why that is the truth. So, you guys, I will share this recording. Go blow up Julie on social media. Post all your boomerangs on your Instagram stories.
In Indianapolis. I want to see you this July.
Yes, we will be there. All right, you guys, have a great night. Julie, thank you so much. Bye, everybody.